Don't you just hate it when you want to go out fishing and you find that your favorite reel is not properly lubricated? I hate that. So today I'm going to show you guys how to properly lubricate a bait casting reel. So first things you're going to want to get your equipment together. So you want to get your reel. You're going to need a small wrench, a small screwdriver. You're going to need some oil and grease designed for fishing reels. So to start the disassembly, you're going to want to remove the side plate, which is usually done by pressing a small button or a lever. So you're going to remove that and place things in order as you remove them for ease of reassembly. And then next you're going to want to remove the small screw that holds the nut in place on the handle. So you want to get that out of there and also place that on the paper in order, and the small ring should come off too. You're going to want to take your wrench, and it's usually not on there too tight, this nut, so it comes off pretty easily. Set that there, and your handle will then come off freely. We'll place that also in order. And then every piece you remove should go in order on the paper. Next, you're going to want to unscrew the star drag system. And once again, placing everything right in order, even down to the individual washer. If you have a couple small taps, spacers and bearings should begin to come out, and then you're down to essentially the skeleton of your reel. You're going to take your screwdriver again and locate, there's 2 screws here on the outer edge and 1 on the interior. So you're going to want to remove all of those, and finding the small notch, should be able to pry this side plate off. Being careful not to disturb the inner workings of the reel. Pry it off. Should slide nicely off. And there you have the inner workings of your reel. You want to be very careful at this point not to disturb anything, not to move anything from how it is. And now you're going to want to grab your reel grease and apply a generous coating to the main gear, along with any other smaller gears, anything that's going to be moving against another object within the reel. The importance of this is to simply maintain the quality and performance of your reel. And this should be done every month if you're into keeping your stuff kept up well, and I tend to do it every season or so. And let's see, add a little more into the smaller gear here. Essentially, that is it. Okay, now for the reassembly of the reel, I took it upon myself to replace the side plate so I wouldn't have dead air time of screwing these nuts in here, screws in here. So next you're going to want to begin to replace your handle assembly in the opposite order of which you took them off. I'll put all these pieces back on. And no matter how small some of these pieces seem, getting them back in order is crucial to the operation of the reel. Let's get that tightened down most of the way. You're going to want to replace your handle and replace the nut. If I can get it on there for once. Apparently not. Okay, after a long struggle with that nut, I managed to get it back on. And let's tighten that down. Not too tight. You want to do it in a way that allows this ring to align with the small hole for your screw, like so. I'm going to replace this screw, and this piece is simply to make sure that this nut does not loosen as you're fishing, so your handle falls off, which I can assure you is not a fun situation. Let's get that tightened up. Next, you're going to want to take your grease, find your worm gear that your line guide sits on. I'll apply a pretty generous amount to there. Work it in there a little bit. Make sure everything still runs smoothly. Clean out any grime or dirt that might have gotten in there. Next, you're going to want to replace your spool and your other side plate, which is as simple as when you took it off. And there is a properly lubricated reel. Okay, today I've shown you how to properly disassemble, lubricate, and reassemble a bait casting fishing reel. So the next time you're planning on going out fishing, keep this in mind if you want to keep your equipment working properly and give it the longest life possible.